But how about the Alliance Aviators? How's this sound? 20-2 on the season. And we're getting ready for tournament play coming up here Friday night, 7 o'clock at home against Firestone. Let's bring him on. Chet Harper, head basketball coach of the Alliance Aviators, to the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. Coach Chet, happy Wednesday. How you doing, brother?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. Thanks for coming on today. Good to have you. Man, 22 times you guys took the floor this year, and you come out with a win on 20 of those occasions. You got to be really proud of your kids right now.
Yeah, you know what? They worked their butts off, and we set a goal this year, like I said, and so far so good. They fulfilled that with winning the league, and anytime you can win 20 games is a heck of a blessing. That's a hard thing to do, and I'm just really proud of the kids.
Yeah, 9-1 in the conference. You win the EBC. You've played a very challenging schedule. I just went back and looked at the schedule a couple hours ago and thinking, holy smokes, they still won 20 games. That is really, really awesome. And you set yourselves up now with a nice draw, good spot in the brackets. And now I know there could be I think you should hand out gas cards to everybody who's going to follow the Aviators through the tournament if you get as far as we hope you get. But
right.
I know you guys got to be just licking your chops to get out there and get after the challenge that's ahead.
Yeah, you know what? We've been practicing. We've been off since last Tuesday, and I was just talking about the kids today about cutting practice back. So we've had, I gave them a day off Wednesday, and we've been practicing 7-8 days. So they're ready to play. At this point, practice get a little stale. So we've cut it back a little bit to about an hour and 15, hour and 30 minutes. So just so we can get out of there.
Coach, what do you do to kind of spruce things up a little bit? I got to believe you're probably not running them as much and X and O them as much, but how do you keep them fresh and engaged and make it fun? Because again, you hope to play many more games coming up here the next several weeks.
We had kind of like an inter squad scrimmage. That's always, you mix the teams up a little bit. Saturday, I had two of my assistants pick. We split the teams up.
Mm-hmm.
Got the clock out. We ran it like a game. And kind of just, had a little fun with that. They're always up to that. So, and in the steady practicing, gets old. But we done that Saturday, and we've been doing a lot of shooting and those things, watching film. So we mixed it up a little bit. Try to just make it, their legs keep them fresh.
I know you got a real mature group too, and JR leading the way, and a lot of other guys that have gotten you to where you're at. Do you feel or see the vibe coming off of those kids that they know that this is a special time of year, and then if they, keep their heads on and they work hard and they pay attention to detail, that it could be a memorable month or so coming up?
Yeah, I think it's a confident bunch. These guys putting a lot of work. This is my first group. It's a third year here, so they truly believe that they could do something special that hasn't been done in a long time in Aviator land. I think 42 or 3 years and winning the district. So their goals are lofty, and I applaud them. As long as they put in the work, I'm pushing them, and they accept it, and they play hard.
Chet Harper is our guest, head coach of the Alliance Aviators, popping in here on the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN. 20-2 the record of the Flyers, though, host Firestone Friday at Harry Fales Gymnasium at 7 p.m. So you started this journey back on December the 2nd, a 1-point win against Northwest. You finish it against New Philly February the 17th with an 11-point win. Is there a game or two, Coach, in between there that you learned the most about your kids?
It's been quite a few games that we've been down at half, and this group, they don't quit. We went into Worcester. We got down the game. I think it's the game before New Philly, maybe, or two, but we were down 9 at half. We've been down 10. So they've been put in some situations where, like I said, this group, they're just going to keep fighting, and they believe that they're always going to win. And, that's a major point when we playing basketball, that kids don't get down and start pouting a little bit. Or this group, they stay at it, and they just believe that they can get it done. We had some games, like I said, Philly. Everybody come out, we get their best shot.
Mm-hmm.
They see them wins on there, and they want to get them. And I like that because it forces our kids to a challenge, say, hey, we got to come out and play every game. We can't have no games off, no matter who we play.
That's a great point, because, some years you go out there and you're the hunter,
Right.
Now you're the hunted, and people say, blah, blah, blah. Hey, that when you're every team's Super Bowl, so to speak, you have to be ready because there really is not that much margin for error, is there?
Nope. And I told our guys, beginning of the year, I said, last year we came in, we weren't the hunted because there was no expectations. We had one guy back and we still ended up winning 15 games, and we probably should have won even more. But this year, Target was on their back a little bit, and they accepted the challenge. And, I'm pretty pleased with them. I could easily be sitting there saying we could be 22-0, but, you need some losses and some, to force you to think about, what you've done wrong or how can we get better. It's always good not going to a tournament too with a 0 on their back. That's a really big target. So, so we're just trying to fight through.
Yeah, and those losses. I mean, 5-point loss to your rival West Branch. You come back and beat them, and you get the outright. And then the overtime game against Massillon. We see how good they are. That was a 4-point loss. I mean, I know you guys learned a couple lessons during those losses, which is a good thing too. And we talk about J.R. Jackson all the time, but and rightfully so. He's the best player in Stark County, football and basketball, unprecedented. Right. But talk about some of your other guys that are chipping in, and maybe a couple of role players, some unsung heroes, maybe that don't get that much attention.
Well, we got quite a few guys. Like I said, we played normally about 9, 10 every game. We got in our starting lineup, we got, Sam Hayes and Parker Woods. Both of them guys are capable of scoring. But this year, they both have scored 20 points plus in some games this point between the two of them. Mm-hmm. We have Cole Pascal rounding it out, man. He's a coach's dream. He's going to do everything you ask. He's going to hustle his butt off, rebound. Anything you want to ask from him, he's going to do it. And then we got some guys on the bench, Cass Brisker, Tajay Nicholson, Braylon Sears, Channing Jaleeson, those guys. We got a second five, Kavion Thomas, that come in, and they can wreck shop too. That's our defensive group. They really get after you, cause turnovers, and like I said, it's a great effort, between the whole team. We got, like I said, 10 guys that really get after it. So those guys all pitch in. I think we might have, off the top of my head, 5, maybe 6 guys that hovering between 10 points and 7 points. So that, that's any of those guys too are capable of scoring double figures as well.
No doubt.
Braylon Sears was our 5th starter last year, and now he's a 6th man. So we got some depth there and some guys that can get some things done. So all those guys are chipping in big time. Night to night, you don't know who's going to do it, but they get it done.
Yeah, and you mentioned that you're kind of cutting practice back a little bit and doing some different things. But I got to imagine the amount of time that you guys are on the floor. It's a spirited practice, right?
Yep. These guys we got a red and white group, and they compete their butts off. Sometimes I got to cut the practice short because they're competing so hard. I think somebody's going to get hurt. So, we come in the locker room yesterday. I think it was yesterday. We got guys arguing and bickering about who won what drill and done that. So it's very competitive, and I kind of like that at times.
Yeah.
So we don't have those lackluster practices. It's times in the hall at lunch, guys are talking about we after y'all today, red or white, whoever it may be. So it's kind of fun at times.
Oh, I'd rather have it that way than the other. There's no doubt about it. Chet Harper, head coach of the Alliance Aviators, dropping by, talk a little hoops here on 1310 WDPN, the Sam Bourquin Show. Again, Harry Fales, get over there. Harry Fales Gymnasium, Friday the 27th at 7. The Aviators hosting Akron Firestone in a tournament opener. Speaking of the tournament, Coach Chet, were you pretty happy, pretty pleased with the way the draw went, the position on the brackets, and the tour that could be ahead? Are you pretty happy with how that all worked out?
Yeah, we got Firestone the first game. We got to go out and take care of that first. But then, I think Louisville, Aurora, we played Louisville, so we're very familiar with them as well already. I like our chances where we at. We just got to go out there and play the game the right way, and I think we could be all right.
Yeah, in basketball now with the 7, so you got to play. Now you got to play at least maybe 6, 7, maybe 8 games to get where you want to go. And I know you believe that this team has it in them to win that many in a row. Obviously you got to go out and play hard. You're
right.
Tournament, everybody starts over again. Like the regular season, I imagine that target was big, but the tournament, and I'm not saying the target goes away, but it's one and done. it's finality for everybody. I don't think that's as much of a thing now. Once the tournament gets going, that might come into your advantage too.
Yeah, you know what? Our guys know we got, like I said, we got 8 seniors. So, them seniors going to be playing a little hard. They know it could be their very last time putting on the jersey. So they're really, going to be after it out there. And, our juniors, they're feeling the same way that this is a year we can make a push. But as you know, in the tournament, Cinderellas are everywhere. So the number one seeds, you got to take care of it and go out and compete every game, because you don't know what could never happen. You can have a bad night out and someone can have a good night out. So, you need a little luck to go where you're going, and, all sorts of things as you further advance. I like our chances. Like I said, again, we just got to go out and take care of it. And we got the bottom bracket. It's pretty interesting too.
Oh, no doubt. Coach, can you believe like it's almost March? How fast did the regular season go?
It went pretty fast once we got past December. It seemed like, we played a lot of games in January. And before you know it, it's thinking, dang, it's tournament draw already. So, and, when you're winning, it helps to go a little faster. It goes even a little faster when you're winning. So, having it, guys were happy and in good spirits. So, it went pretty quick there in January, rolled on by.
I got to ask you, because I really don't know the answer to this question. Some coaches I can pick right out and I can tell. Are you superstitious at all this time of year or no?
Well, if you've been watching the Aviators a little bit this year, you'll see we've been in our red top quite a bit. So we've been wearing them red top and black pants pretty much all season. I think we switched up twice, and I think they were on our losses. So we stuck back. We went back to the red and black pants. If you watch the Aviators, you would think we only got one coaching shirt.
Come on, man.
We always don't red.
Open that thing up a little bit.
Right. So, that's a little superstitious for you right there, right?
All right. I thought I was onto something. I just wanted to check and make sure.
Yep.
Coach, we really appreciate you coming on, especially today. I know you guys are in preparation, have great practices this week. Best of luck on Friday, and let's make plans to get together next week and do it again.
Appreciate it. Anytime, Sam.
You got it, man. There you go. Right. Chet Harper, outstanding head basketball coach of the Alliance Aviators, joining us here on 1310 WDPN.